All right, good morning, everybody. Hello. We just wrapped up our Bible study groups. That was kind of cool. Or our Torah portion group. You guys are joining me from that group as well. Okay, so it is going to be an exciting time for us. V, if you can make sure we are recording, my love. Thank you. This is going to be a lot more of the content moving forward. It's going to be a lot more of the nuts and bolts, details and information related to raising credit and buying assets with it. It's like the other day, some of you guys probably know the story, but the other day when I really started to figure out the AI bots and AI sales agents and the software, right? The first thing I thought and asked myself is, how can I use this to raise credit and buy assets with it? You know, the voice is just awesome. Oh, 100%. I mean, you can have full-blown conversations with the things and it's amazing. And you drop your templates in there, like I showed you guys in that video, and it's a wrap. It is absolutely a wrap. Just to peel back the layers and determine what the motivation is. That's like 150% of what cold calls are all about anyway. You know, and so to just be able to train the AI agents to do that in a very systematic and methodical way is just that much better. You know, it's that much better. Well, I hope you guys enjoy the new groups. It literally took me and V probably just a transition from Telegram over to Signal. That took about 3 weeks. Not to mention now uploading the vlogs to the media section of the Signal. That in itself is a real biggie. So just for you guys to be able to see that content on Signal took a really long time for us to figure out. It took a really long time for us to figure out. Did you guys see the part where the seller all of a sudden he gets to closing table and then he starts talking about confidentiality. And this is the same person who, by the way, copied me in emails to his real estate agent, the insurance agent, his lawyer, right? So right there, knowing what we know, real estate agent has a broker who has an office. So there's 60 agents right there that know about the transaction. Then you copy in the accountant who has a CPA probably overseeing them, who has a CPA firm. There's another 15 to 20 people. And then you have a lawyer who has probably an attorney over them who has 14 or 15 other employees or other attorneys. So you put all of those numbers together, plus their spouses, plus their neighbors. All of a sudden, we got to be very confidential now with 1,000 people who all know this information, by the way. It's a joke. You know, it's a joke. And it's no different in other aspects of life where people, they say, well, you know, we want privacy and we want this, we want that. But at the same time, everything's like in public, either directly or indirectly. So it's like, let us get in here, let us show this vlog so people can actually benefit from this education. And maybe some of you won't have to pay a lawyer or an accountant $7,500 to close a transaction because you'll keep proper books, right? That's a whole nother thing. It's different, right? Like if it's just you, mom and pop real estate business, it's one thing. But if it's you with joint venture partners, all these different things going on, then yeah, you're going to need accountant and accountant help, etc. It's two totally different types of things going on, right? Thank you. It's cool. My reaction and her reaction is probably a lot different. And she's a much better storyteller than I am. For me, all I can tell you is this. It took a long time, 3 or 4 hours waiting there, because it's a whole lot different, right, than here. But when the lady said, Niño, I went cold. I was like on a different planet because I was already thinking 8th day circumcision, 2, 3-year-old boy running around, climbing on cabinets, wanting me to wrestle with him, right? I'm already thinking 15-year-old boy that I have to keep up with and guide and train, right? 30-year-old man with shoulders this wide that I got to help go out and buy businesses and rack up the world. Some people have kids, honestly, and they're just designing them to work at the cash register, you know? They're just designing them and their lives to just like, you know, work at McDonald's, which isn't a bad gig. But there's a difference between raising a child that can be a Fortune 500 CEO and who chooses to settle in life versus someone who can't even really function at that type of stress level. Totally two different dynamics. Yeah. And, I read the book, The Outliers. If you read the book, The Outliers, and you're exposed to that information, and your child knows that you've read that book before and you've been exposed to this type of information, yet you chose not to do those things, he's going to look at you like, damn, what a dumbass. Why'd you set me up this way? Yeah, so when she said boy, I went cold. Her, on the other hand, she went crazy. She went berserk, right? But thank you. I really appreciate it. God's good. God is good all the time. I said that to a patient one time. So I was on my general surgery rotation, and there were some Jamaicans, and I could tell they were, women of faith, that kind of thing. And that was when we had like the mask, you had to have the mask on all the time. And one of the ladies says, oh no, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. God is good. And then I just remember kind of peeking down my mask while I was sitting in the corner, and I said, all the time. And the ladies just started laughing like, oh yeah, Being able to connect with patients is probably one of the coolest things. Yes. Yeah, fitness was great when all I could do is sit around and fish, Fitness is great when all you can do is kind of sit around and fish. Utilizing fitness to improve your life in medicine and real estate is great. But once you want to get into that like bodybuilder, I want to be an Instagram model kind of thing, just the meals alone is just a whole nother thing, When I actually broke out the calories of what I was eating during the day, I was like, no wonder why I'm tired. I'm having this shake, but this shake with all these ingredients, plus this Greek yogurt, I'm almost at 1,000 calories. So it's no wonder why my energy is dropping off, and my energy in medicine is good. But then in real estate in the afternoons, or business or whatever comes in the afternoons, my energy is just tapering off. And it's because I was having those big protein shakes and protein smoothies. So it would just drop off. Yeah, for sure. Plus, I like the people that I meet in the gym at around 10 to 1 p.m. So I realize if I go to the gym between 4 a.m. and like 6 a.m., I'm dealing with the Jello crew, that like 35-year-old man to 55-year-old man that they're trapped, They signed all these bad agreements, or they settled into their jobs and careers, and they're just kind of walking in Jello waiting on their pension or retirement. Yeah, it's always kind of the same decision, right? It was either this or be a trucker. So they decided to do that. And so they're kind of in that Jello crew. They're just kind of grumpy. They all want their space, right? They go in there with the copper sleeves and sling here and back brace here, and they got their headphones on. They came with 2 or 3 bags with their work clothes, and they're just grumpy. I don't like that crowd. But 10 a.m. to like 1 p.m., that's my crowd. It's like a younger crowd, more energetic. A couple airline pilots. Yeah, so that's the part that I really enjoyed. But getting back to this, it's, I just enjoyed, honestly, connecting with the different people these last couple of years, since really getting on social media to talk about raising credit to buy assets. And I've enjoyed a lot of the friendships. I'm talking deep, meaningful relationships. And I'm excited to see what the future holds. Because now this next chapter is all about scalability. Scalability. We want to find hospitals that need good, solid, healthy providers who are willing to pay really good wages. We want to find med students who really want to do their best to become future physicians. We want to treat patients, patient education. I was a patient recently. We worked out a deal. So we worked out a deal with her specifically. Yeah, and she hooked me up with a hair transplant. It was cool. And she had the patient education, which was really awesome, right there in her portal. So when you do a hair transplant, right? I said, okay, once we worked out the barter deal. So you get your hair transplant, first 2 or 3 weeks, scabbing, all that stuff, and then you start to see it grow. And then all of a sudden, after about 2 or 3 weeks, it feels like your whole head, just all the hair disappears, And then what started happening was then it started like come back gradually. So now I'm at, I think 2.5 months. So it's not officially all going to come in till like month 6 or 7. That's when it all comes in. But just having that patient education in advance plus post-op, and if you can provide a patient with like a referral link, I mean, it's over. It's over. Imagine every single patient that you see, they refer 2 people to you. Because when I had that bandage around my head and I went to the gym or I went to the store, you would get bald guys or bald people. They would kind of like look, double take. And then finally I just started to say, you know, it wasn't that bad. And they'd be like, well, yeah, actually, I wanted to ask you, how'd you like it? I was thinking about getting mine done, you know? So instead of like, why is this guy looking at me? I kind of started to figure out why. And more times than not, it was, they were really curious because they wanted to get it too. But right now I'm at like month 2, 2.5. And so it's not going to really all come in until about 6 months, but it really worked out. And she was nice. She was sweet. It all worked out really, really well. On the real estate side of things. So on medicine, we're at the point where we're kind of settled. You know, the faculty position settled. And that's the part where we're at, plus a few other things that we're going to be talking about kind of directly, indirectly, nonchalantly, in true American form, right? On the real estate side, there's different things going on, but Isaiah, we're pretty much going to have a chat with him here in the near future. He was the one that posted about buying properties utilizing UAE funding and sourcing. And what he told me made absolute 100% sense. He said, Benjamin, it was harder for me to talk to my local county commissioner than it was for me to approach the prince in the UAE. When he said that, I said, wow, that's crazy. There's nothing like a benevolent dictatorship. Keyword, benevolent. You go through 1 or 2, 3 gatekeeping or gatekeepers. And then before you know it, you're right in front of a person with billions of dollars to invest. That's pretty crazy. I made a joke. Yeah, I made a joke with him. I said, wow, that's it? I said, so all you had to do was pitch him a real estate deal and guarantee it with the real estate and your life. And he started laughing. But I mean, it makes sense if you really think about it. You go to where you're incentivized to be. If I'm incentivized to do this, this, and this, then I'm going to do it. If physicians are incentivized to be in rural areas with better lifestyle, better wages, more control over their treatment plans, they're going to be there, right? And if they're not, then you're going to have 6 openings like what we see in some of these places that we're trying to get staffing contracts at. One of the places was the situation was so bad there, the hospital environment, where you could see pathways. Yeah, Matt could tell you more about this, but you could see pathways in the middle of fields. The cafeteria was so bad that the nurses, 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night, would walk from the hospital down the street to 7-Eleven because they didn't want to actually eat at the cafeteria. That's how bad it was. So my idea was to talk a local like Mexican food place, one of the best restaurants that are there in that local area, and pitch them on a second location and say, listen, you know, if you want to open up a second location, you can open it here. Just adjust a few recipes here and there. But other than that, you can have a second location here for reduced rent. That's what I would have done. But who am I? Yeah. So we're at the stage now where we're going to reach scalability. That's what we're trying to get to. So whether or not we get there, how we get there, who we get there with, that's pretty much what our goal is. Our goal is to get from 1 staffing contract to 10 to 15. Our goal is to get from 10 units of real estate up to 1,000 units of real estate, and to do so as quickly as possible, as quickly as possible.